So this is Comb Over Charlie. This is him right here. And basically his objective is to make it through as many worlds as possible. And then he eats these worms to keep energized. Otherwise, this fish will catch up and eat him. Or there's also a lot of bombs that he has to try to avoid and not explode. And then there's obstacles and other things that he has to get through. And, you know, once he shoots multiple fish, he can pick up extra guns and level ups and things like that. So, I mean, it's really just a nice side platformer. A couple of months ago, we started talking about the Adobe Air 2.6 thing, so I wanted to try the performance of using a physics engine, but on mobile devices. I had no high hopes for the Air 2.6 stuff on the Apple devices. It was just incredible. I mean, I really didn't expect that I could even get close to this performance, you know, out of the Air and Flash stuff. If we want to look at the game on the laptop itself, it's easy to set up some controls so that the person could control it directly on their laptop, and you could definitely publish this, have people play it online, but I really wanted to go for more of a mobile experience.
This is the Motorola Zoom, right? So it's running Air 2.6
Yep.
on Honeycomb.
Pretty much the identical code base. The only differences are there are very minor tweaks to make it ready for the screen size. And the performance on this is great, you know, I mean, it's got a really fast processor, so, I mean, the things are super smooth. 40 frames a second. So that's on the, you know, that's running on there. That runs pretty well.
10.1 tablet, yep.
Yep, this is
Galaxy
the
tab.
Yep, Galaxy tab. So right now we're just at the intro screen, so we're at 40 frames a second. But, you know, even as we get through this, it'll keep up with 40 frames a second. So same level of performance. Yeah, definitely, you know, smooth. It's definitely not something you would, you know, think that was created with Flash, and because it looks and behaves as good as a native application. This is the Droid Incredible. So the frame rate's dropped a little here, but there's really a lot. I mean, if I wanted to invest time in getting this perfect, I definitely get the frame rate up. This is really set for this the Zoom tablet. Mm-hmm. So it's the Zoom tablet size, but then shrunk down to fit in this window. So if I really made it for this size window, it would definitely pick up the performance quite a bit. This is just the iPad 1, not an iPad 2 with the new processor. So let's take a look at the performance here. Hit play here. And as you can see, the performance is almost identical or as good as the Zoom tablet with no problem. I mean, it runs great. So, I mean, it's running as if it's a native application. There would be, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between this and someone that wrote it natively. I mean, if you wanted to push it to 50 frames a second, it could probably even do that. I don't see the need to, but now we have the iPhone 4. So this one too, you know, silky smooth, everything's, you know, perfect. Performance optimization was more just about optimizing the game as if I were going to optimize it for a desktop or a slow computer. So, you know, some of the tips and tricks that work for lower powered devices, netbooks, or even just running on older computers, you know, they work for mobile. I mean, and, you know, the same if you're developing natively. If you're going to develop with Objective-C, or you're going to work on the Android platform, you know, you're still going to need to develop and do optimizations. So you can't get around having to do optimizations, but once you do the optimizations for one device, it really transfers into all the devices. And now we have, this is just a 3GS phone, so definitely a couple years old, little, you know, I was expecting a slower performance. It's really optimized for the iPhone 4, and then this is just scaled down to fit the screen. So let's take a look at what the performance looks like on here. Still, look, silky smooth. Everything's just...
Oh, that's great.
I mean, there's really, if you look at the frames per second, it maintains a 40 frames a second. I mean, it still shoots just like the other one does. You know, everything. Some of the tech bloggers like to point out that, well, if you have to modify or adjust for individual platforms, then what's the point? Well, the point is that it doesn't take several months. It takes several hours to make these modifications and make these enhancements for individual platforms. You know, my primary testing platform is actually right now is the iPad. I'm going to put it on the market as an iPad app. I'm also going to put it on the market as an iPhone app, and then I'll put it on the Android market. And then probably, you know, it's just such a simple transition. I can put it on the web, I can put it as a Facebook game, add the Facebook API around it. I can put it on the Google Chrome store. I'll be able to put it on the BlackBerry Playbook. So really, I can publish it everywhere. I mean, it's great. It's a win-win for me. Maybe it'll be the next Angry Birds.